as Jimbo said, my name is Leanne. I primarily work as an actor, but in my day-to-day job, I actually work as a professional storyteller. Now, a lot of people are confused by the term storytelling, right? I work as an Irish storyteller, so that basically means I work a lot in telling Irish folk tales, Irish mythological stories, stories about Irish culture. I've been doing this for quite a long time. You get to know what makes a good folktale when you read Hudden Dudden. And I'm going to let you know there's 3 things you need for a good folktale. The first and most important thing, somebody needs to fucking die, right? And they need to die the most horrific, heinous, just outright ridiculous death, right? The second, someone has to owe somebody else money. That's really, we can all relate to that. That's really important. And the third thing is, one of your characters needs to have a moral dilemma in relation to the other character. So you got someone dying, you got someone owing someone money, and you got your moral dilemma. And this reminds me of a story that comes from the county of Fermanagh. Now, in Fermanagh, come on in! We're telling stories!
Don't be sorry.
In the county of Fermanagh, bring it back in, children, bring it back in. There was 2 farmers, okay? Now, these 2 farmers, they happened to be brothers. Now, one of the brothers was named Hudden, while the other brother, he was named Dudden. And Hudden and Dudden, well, they wanted for nothing. Because when they grew up, they had a farm each with plenty of cows. When they grew up, they had plenty of gold in their purse. And when they grew up, they had so much to eat. They went to bed every night happy. But Hudden and Dudden, they had a cousin. And Hudden and Dudden's cousin was called Donal. And Donal, unlike his cousins who wanted for nothing, he only had 1 cow in the field. Donal, he didn't have purses of gold, he only had 3 pennies in his back pocket. And poor Donal went to bed every night to the tune of his hungry belly. Now you think, Hudden and Dudden could want nothing off their cousin. But Hudden and Dudden wanted the one thing that they couldn't have. Because when there's people in life who have everything they could ever want, they tend to be really fucking unhappy. And they tend to want the one thing that they can't have. The one thing Hudden and Dudden didn't have was the small strip of land that Donal lived in between both of their farms. And every night they thought, and thought, and thought, how could we get that small strip of land off it? Well, the one thing we could do, we could kill the only cow that lives on the land. And if we kill it, he mightn't want that land. So Hudden agreed, and Dudden agreed. What must be done? And so they sneak in the middle of the night up the small strip of land to the one cow named Daisy. Jesus, she was gorgeous. And they slit the poor cow's throat. And down she falls. And into the house did Dudden go, and into the house did Hudden go. Now the next morning, Donal woke as he did every morning. He was a very caring man. He went to check on his beloved cow, only to find her so violently mauled. And he thought, Jesus, what could be done? For me only cow, me pride and joy dead before me. I know what I'll do, I'll make the best of a bad situation, say Donal. So he skinned the cow, and he took the skin, and he puts it over his shoulder, and he makes his way down to the market. But what Donal didn't have in wealth, Donal made up for in wit. And he thought he had an idea. And he got the skin, he put it out before him. And he made 3 small slits in it. And he got the 3 pennies out of his back pocket. And he put the 3 pennies in the skin. And he put it over his shoulder. And he made his way down, but carrying dead cow skin on your back, by Jesus, 'tis thirsty work. So he decided to go in to the local pub. So when he went, he put the cow skin down behind him. I'll have the pint of your finest, say he. Is he thinking I won't be paying you, my good barman? Well, I've got something here you've never seen the likes of. And a penny fell out of the cow skin. And a second penny fell out of the cow skin. And a third penny fell out. Holy God, worth? Said the barman. A golden coin. Ah, it's worth a little bit more than that, I think. I'll give you a bag of golden coins for it. And so Donal O'Neary, he sold the skin of his dead cow to a local barman for a bag of gold. And he laughed his whole off the way home. And he laughed his way up that small strip of land he called home. He laughed so much. He woke up Hudden and he woke up Dudden. And they went up and they knocked at his door. What are you doing in there laughing your bollocks off? And where did you get that big bag of gold? Said Hudden. Lads, a great sorrow fell upon me this morning when I found me only cow Daisy sliced at the throat in mysterious circumstances. But I decided I'd go down and sell her skin. Lads, do you know they're selling manky old cow skin down there? They'll give you a sack of gold for it. Ding, 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 ding. Both of the brothers ran into their farm, and all Donal could hear all the night long was the beautiful tune of whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. He peered out the next morning and he looked to see there was no cows in Dudden's field and there was no cows in Hudden's field. They took all the cow skin. They went down, they sat by the well in the centre of the town and they called out, "Smelly old cow skins for sale! Here, missus, come and buy this off me here for a sack of your most precious gold." When no one bought the cow skin, Hudden and Dudden realised they had been had by their cousin. And Hudden and Dudden realised that Donal, he had to go. So they walked up and waited in the dead of night. And they decided, if slitting his throat didn't work, Dudden, I think we should slit his throat, Hudden. Agreed. So they crept into his house. And by the fire there was a figure laying on the bed. They went up beside it and slit its throat. Out the door they went. Hudden into his house and Dudden into his. Hudden and Dudden didn't realise Donal O'Leary didn't sleep by the bed at the fire. Donal O'Leary was a good man, so he let his mother sleep by the bed at the fire. And he woke up the next morning, as he did every morning, for he a good man, to check on his mammy, only to find his mother dead in the bed. He think, oh Jesus, what could be done of such a bad situation? I'll give her a proper burial, say Donal. But what Donal lacked in wealth, oh, he made up in wit. He picked his dead mammy up, he put her down there on a chair. He dressed her in the finest of clothes and he picked her up and he walked down to the town. But sure, lads, carrying your dead ma's body is thirsty work. So he propped her up against the well and he went into the finest of pub and he drank pint after pint after pint. If it's the money you're looking for, the barman, me mammy has it out there, you may go out and get it from her. So the barman goes out to the mammy at the well. He puts his shoulders on the side of the old woman and she falls deep, deep down into the well. She hits the bottom of it with a splash, and what would you be thinking? Ah, fuck! My TripAdvisor rating! I've just killed an animal, there's no one going to come into me bar! Well, barman, you've killed me old mammy, and after me dear Daisy dying, I'll have no one. But if you were to give me a bag of gold, I'd say nothing about it, for it would cure me broken heart. If you were to give me a second and bury her, for coffins are expensive, I'd say nothing. And so Donal O'Leary, he sold his dead mother's body to a barman for not one but 2 sacks of golden coins, and he laughed in his fucking head off. and not one but 2 bags of gold. He laughed so much up the road to his house that he woke up his cousins, Hudden and Dudden. And they were thinking, holy fucking Christ, what the hell is he doing alive? I thought we slit his throat. I thought you slit his fucking throat. But before they could even knock on the door, it swung open. Ah, lads, did you not hear I woke up this morning and me dear mother dead? But I'm telling you this for nothing. If you bring your dead mammy down into the fair, they'll buy your dead mother off you. For I have on the table there not one but 2 sacks of golden coins. Ding, 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 ding. Hudden and Dudden, they go in and they hold down their mother. They stab her dead. And they put on a nice hat, a lovely pair of shoes. They carry their dead mammy down. They prop her up against the well, and they begin to scream at the top of their voice, "Dead mummies for sale! Dead mummies for sale! They make great gunpowder! Sell your dead mass to the Irish Army! Dead mummies!" Now, at this point, things went a little bit askew for Hudden and Dudden. Their small town didn't take well to them slicing their mother's throat and trying to sell her of a Sunday evening. So they ran them out of town. And when they ran back up to their own houses, black and blue, they looked, and what could they see but the fire roaring in Donal O'Leary's house, and his shadow standing. He's for the fucking shop. They walked up to his house and they dragged him out kicking and screaming, "Hudden! Dudden! For the love of God, don't kill me! I've got so much left to give!" Then he thought to himself, well, me mammy's dead. And me dear Daisy is dead. So what reason do I have for living? I'd actually love to die. They put him in a bag and they tied a knot in the top. And the more he thought about dying, oh Jesus, the more excited he was. He thought, Jesus, will they drown me? Will they batter me? I don't care! But I hope I go to heaven, and I hope me dear Daisy's there with me mammy at the pearly gates. And so Hudden and Dudden, they picked up Donal O'Leary. But ladies and gentlemen, kidnap, murder, it's, as you all know, thirsty work. So they propped up Donal O'Leary against the well and they made their way into the local bar. And he there whistling away. Now I can't whistle, so we'll have to imagine this. And a whistling bag there now on its own in the middle of a small rural Irish country town, it caused a little bit of interest. And a man went over to the whistling bag. Now this was no ordinary man. He was one of Ireland's most wealthy men. He didn't have a couple of cows, he had 27. He didn't have any old horse, for its feet had golden hooves. This man was so wealthy he couldn't sleep at night. In the words of notorious B.I.G., he had more money, more problems. So he opened the bag. What are you doing laughing in there, me good man? Well, I'm laughing, me good sir, because I'm going to die. And I'm so fucking delighted about it. It's gonna be great. Well, would you swap places with me? I'd love to die, for the worry of money keeping me awake all the night long. And Donal O'Leary thought to himself, there's only room for one of us in the sack. Good man. Swap with me and I'll give you every rich you could ever imagine. And he thought to himself, his mammy waiting at the gate, his Daisy looking for him. But 27 cows. Fuck it, heaven can wait, he thought. He crawled out of the bag and he stuffed the big lad into it. He tied the top, he got onto the horse, and off he went on the golden hoof steed. Hudden and Dudden finished their pints. They came out and they picked up what they thought was their cousin. Hudden and Dudden walked their cousin as quickly as they could down to the river, and they threw him in. Deep, deep did the bag fall, all the way to the depths of the local lake. When Hudden and his brother Dudden made their way back to their home, for what they saw. But Donal O'Neary, with 27 cows, with a horse with golden hooves, with so much gold, he's a fucking ghost! They thought he's not a ghost, he's just a pain in my fucking head. The door swang open and Donal O'Leary came out and he said, lads, I have to thank you. Do you know what's at the bottom of the lake? Loads of fucking cows. Loads of gold. And see that horse with golden hooves? There's about 100 of them waiting for you. You don't believe me? Well, I've got 2 sacks here, lads. Let me show you. And so Hudden and Dudden trusted their cousin to walk them down to the local lake. Hudden in one bag and Dudden in the other. And Donal picked up one and threw it into the lake. And he picked up the second and he threw it into the lake. And he stood there. And he watched them go all the way down. The bubbles rising up. Hudden and his brother Dudden were never, ever seen again. Yet their cousin, who you might say wanted for nothing, he made his way home to his house with millions of cows, to his horse with golden hooves, to so much money that it is said that at this day, if you go to a farm called the Donal O'Neary farm in the county of Fermanagh and you see the shack that sits in the field and you listen, you'll still hear Donal O'Neary. You'll still hear him laughing, counting his coins inside of that house. Thank you very much. Yeah!